Good afternoon, dear CELConers, and we are now back for the afternoon session of our 2021 CELCon. I hope you've had your hearty lunch earlier. Now we are still streaming live via Facebook at DepEd Tayo Calabarzon and via YouTube, that's CELCon 2021. Please don't forget to like our official social media page and hit the notifications bell so you will always be updated on the announcements and live stream events only here at DepEd Tayo Calabarzon FB page and www.youtube.com/CELCon2021. Previously, we had an indeed interactive academic exchange with our first keynote speaker, that's Dr. Robbie Marlina, where he highlighted multiliteracy in this globalizing time. And he reminded us that no matter how difficult our journey in transitioning into the new normal in education, we should keep going, we should keep moving. So this time, before we formally proceed to our afternoon session, let us watch this video. Earlier, I reminded you that we will be having or we will be presenting to you the different best practices and the varied reading programs across select schools in Calabarzon. So first off, we'll be having from the SDO Laguna, Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School, our head teacher 3, Dr. Merlin B. Sancha. Good afternoon, Dr. Merlin. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Merlin B. Sancha, head teacher in... Yes po. I am Merlin B. Sancha, head teacher in Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School from SDO Laguna. And share with you our school's reading program named Project Dear. Develop, enhance, and appreciate reading. Here it is.
Good day to all Region 4A Calabarzon English mentors. SDO Laguna is very thankful for this opportunity
to share with you the best yet simple practices of our division and Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School reading programs. Why best practices? Because the activities we constantly do every year are found effective. If the activities are effective, then they are best practices. And what are the indicators for us to really tell that a reading program is effective? Definitely, if there were improvements on our learners' reading levels. PGMNHS Project DEAR develop, enhance, appreciate reading, has set and developed standards throughout the years based on the different needs of the learners. To achieve the program's goals, varied activities and tools are utilized and applied. With the positive attitudes shown by the reading teachers, it was easier for everyone to work for the attainment of its main goal, and that is to produce independent Filipino readers, equipped with knowledge and comprehension. For the past years, PGMNHS School Reading Program has been advocating real change in developing students' interest in reading. There will be no other achievement any school program could have but the improvement on learners' ability to cope with their everyday struggles academically. This table shows the accomplishment of the program represented by the improvement of learners through data or through figure. Readers under frustration level became instructional. Frustration level is considered the lowest ability to read. Learners in this level are called struggling readers, slow readers, catch-up readers, and if there are, non-readers. Readers under instructional ideally should have become independent. Instructional level is basically readers to be able to understand any reading materials are needing teachers and or peers guidance and assistance. And independent level speaks to itself. Learners can survive alone with his or her own ability to comprehend anything. Reading sessions and reading assessments were conducted in all classes every week that focus on a particular reading scale. Through this strategy, the students have achieved a higher percentage of correct answer in their periodical examination in terms of reading comprehension type of test. This only shows that the reading session is an effective tool in building up students' reading comprehension and thus aids their learning process. The figures reflected in Phil Erie preliminary test results were very alarming, both in silent and oral reading. Nonetheless, interventions done to combat the problems among our learners, reading teachers, and English teachers did well, utilizing the instructional materials crafted for different conditions and needs of the students. The rationale is the reason for conducting the program. It answers the question, why does the school need the program? In here, we included the legal basis or basis for conducting the program. The Department of Education continues to introduce varied programs intended for the students' achievement, enhancement, and development. Even curriculum experts would say that the reading skills of the Filipino learners need to be improved. The Education for All covers all the aspects that focused on students' different needs. The school's initiative to help solve the reading ability problems of the learners became an inspiration for everyone.
PGMNHS reading program is aligned with the division's pursuit to excellence in the SDO Laguna, which is the Project RISE, Reading Intervention for Schools Excellence, and now the Project RICH, Reading Empowerment Assuring Connection at Home. During the old normal, Project RISE was the reading program of SDO Laguna. Now, Project RICH is a reading program designed in the new normal that emphasizes on teaching and developing reading at home through the support and involvement of parents or guardians who become vital reading partners of the teachers in light of the public crisis due to COVID-19 virus. It was successfully launched in the Division of Laguna on February 19, 2021, attended by SDS, CID Chief, PSDSS, school heads, school reading coordinators of all the pilot school implementers, 25 central elementary schools, 9 junior high schools, including Pedro Guevara, and 8 senior high schools. Pedro Guevara conducted the district orientation on March 3, 2021 via Zoom. It was attended by 222 parents and 40 reading teachers. Those who failed to attend the orientation, we prepared brochure. Details about the project are written in Filipino. This is our way to let the community know and become aware of the good and humble intentions of the project. Mrs. Irma S. Valenzuela, as the Laguna Education Program Supervisor in English, is the proponent of the reading program. And her co-proponent is the reading scholar of SDO Laguna, Mrs. Rosa A. Pacaige. Now, allow me to read, as part of the statement of the program, are the principles behind Project DEAR and its objectives. Project DEAR keeps holding to the following thoughts, which are considered valuable and meaningful. That the culture of reading at home and in school continues. That involvement of the school heads, reading teachers, and parents is still vital for struggling readers to give importance in reading and to continuously develop their interest to achieve fluency on reading. That there is pleasure in reading, knowing the meaning of many words, acquiring information about the world and life. That appropriate reading materials and activities or tasks will easily help the struggling readers to recognize printed letters and words. And lastly, that reading is really the core skills to improve academic achievements. Project DEAR has these specific objectives. First, make a non-reader decode and read simple words fluently. Second, develop slow readers to read with comprehension. Enrich reading capabilities of average and above average readers. Third, eradicate non-readers and decrease the number of students under frustration level. Fourth, maintain the culture of reading at home and school among students, parents, and teachers. Fifth, continue the keeping up record of best approaches and practices in reading program. And finally, spread the love and interest in reading. PGMNHS reading program is for enhancement, remediation, and tutorial. RERT, reading for enhancement, for remediation, and for tutorial. Different instructional or intervention materials and assessment tools were also introduced by some reading coaches that motivated the learners to continue expressing their interest in reading. These intervention materials were crafted to help the students with different needs. Characteristics of the materials used matched the needs of the students. Most of the crafted items focus on spelling, vocabulary, and reading comprehension activities. Modules were also prepared with self-evaluation activities included. Enhancement is for learners under independent and instructional levels. Different culminating activities are given to students who undergo reading enhancement. One example is the reader's theater that enables the students to practice oral reading. The learners employ creativity in reading, which boosted their comprehension level. Positive feedback was written in the learner's journal that this activity made them to understand better a text and enjoy reading. Book Open Door is also one of the culminating activities for enhancement. Learners are asked to read a particular book and transform their classrooms into a big book. Different scenes from the book will be seen once the door is opened. Students from the regular sections have witnessed this exhibit and made them to realize that reading book is fun and enjoyable. Recycled materials are used in designing the rooms and doors. Thus, this activity not only reinforces students' reading skills, but also helps in making the school environment eco-friendly. Creative storytelling is also given to this group of learners. It requires students to write their original story and read it in creative manner. The activity not only enhances students' reading ability, but also allows them to practice creative writing and to be future writers someday. We also have instructional materials for enhancement, such as Jeopard Read and skimming and scanning application, aside from MAR and reading day once a week. How about remediation? Remediation is for learners under frustration level, but considered slow readers. Also, aside from reading day once a week and monthly assessment for reading, these are the instructional materials utilized by the reading teachers. Color drop game, read with me color boxes, mix and match, an instructional material for word recognition, Word Master, ACE's World of Reading, Spin a Word, spelling worksheet for catch-up readers. While reading tutorial is also for learners under frustration level, but diagnosed as struggling readers. Intensive reading tutorials are being carried out 3 times a week by reading coaches to grade 7 and grade 8 students who were identified as catch-up readers. Tutorials cover 1 hour of one-on-one approach, which is the appropriate strategy for this kind of learners. Coaches prepare suitable reading materials and extend the time and effort in helping these students to become better readers. It is really very important that we know the reading levels of our learners. Profiling is a must. We diagnose the reading level. Then, we provide appropriate reading materials based on our diagnosis. A teacher's ultimate goal is to promote learning, and reading is a significant part of learning. Therefore, it is the role of language teachers to develop learners' abilities in reading. This is the reason for the innovation crafted by PGMNHS English teachers to enhance and enrich the reading speed and comprehension skills of the learners. These are some of the projects purposely crafted by the reading teachers for the different needs of learners, for enhancement, for remediation, and for tutorial. Project Eros. Just like any other skill, speed reading can be learned. When you learn how to read faster, you'll be able to understand the general meaning of the whole text and each paragraph much more easily and quickly. This will help you find the correct answers more effectively. Reading faster will not only improve your reading skills, but your overall understanding of the English language. Every school year, after conducting the field ERI, it has been observed that there is always a number of cases of slow and struggling readers in the grade 7 level. This perennial problem, of course, affects in the continuous existence of students with very low grades, failing, and dropout rate too. To address this issue, Project EROS, Enriching Reading Rate of Slow Readers, was launched by a composite of PGMNHS English teachers. This was done by providing an SRD, speed reading device, to a slow reader during the reading process to increase his or her reading rate by keeping an even pace or increasing eye span while reading. The tool introduced to the learners has partly increased the awareness of the teachers and learners in the reading speed ability. Number of students benefited: 2,048 grade 7 students. Project Strands. One of the reading skills that needs improvement and has been a constant low scorer in the students' reading assessment is noting details. The result of the monthly reading assessment, or MAR, for noting details revealed that grade 7 students have the lowest average MPS. Pedro Guevara is constantly administered MAR until now for our grade 7 learners. Results are recorded, consolidated, and analyzed. The analysis really helps to our English mentors to cope with PPAs as to reading is concerned. It is in this light that a team of PGMNHS English teachers decided to give solution to the problem of grade 7 learners by launching Project Strands, strategic techniques, and reading activities on noting details. Grade 7 students are provided with ARO, Active Reader's Outcome. It is a quick guide for noting details. They are also provided with more activities to unlock word difficulties. The brochure, which served as tool, provides the guidelines and techniques for noting details to help learners understand the reading selection better and participate actively during the class discussion. The brochure eventually helped to improve the students' reading skills, particularly in noting details from a given text. Each reading coach is given a set of brochure to be distributed to the grade 7 students. 2,048 grade 7 students benefited from this project, Project Care. The need to enhance the skill to infer conclusion of students considered as cream of the crop is what a team of another PGMNHS English teachers felt to address. Because after analyzing the reading assessment test results of grade 8 students from STEP and honor class curriculum, they got the lowest MPS on drawing conclusion reading skill. And so, Project Care, Collaborative Actions for Reading Enhancement was born. It used a comprehensive tool called Wrap-Up Kit, containing techniques on how to draw conclusions. This conceptualized tool aids to improve drawing conclusions reading skill. 1,882 grade 8 students benefited from this project. Learners nowadays find difficulties in understanding literary text. Thus, it's a great challenge for them to recall, retell, and enable them to analyze and understand literary text. For this reason, the elite team, Enhancing Literature and Teaching English, decided to give attention to further study and give solution to the problem in understanding literary text among grade 9 regular classes. Literature intervention for English students, Project Lives, was a project for the improvement of students regarding their knowledge and skills in literature. 1,659 grade 9 students benefited. The PGMNHS reading program catered and served different types of learners for the past years. Its advocacies still live and desire to serve more. Project DARE continues to live an impact, not just to its students, but to the community as well. Because of the continuous support of the community to the reading program, the ALS of Santa Cruz Laguna holds true to its mission to partner with other producers of learning to develop exemplary programs and open creative learning opportunities to achieve multiple literacies for all. Thus, the ALS Santa Cruz District is diligently looking for partners in the community to make its mission possible. Hence, upon knowing that Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School has a reading program and its own reading area, Santa Cruz District ALS coordinator collaborated ALS mission to the school reading program. He also requested for the use of the school reading nook and the school's reading area and other instructional materials to be used by the AL students to create more learning opportunities for them. At this point, again, we are very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you to our Regional Director, Dr. Francis Cesar Bringas, Sir Hob S. Zape Jr., Curriculum and Learning Management Division Chief, and of course, to Sir Jonathan S. Cavido, Education Program Supervisor in English. Sa ngalan po ng mga masisipag na kawani ng gobyerno sa SDO Laguna, sa pangunguna ng aming mahal na Superintendent, Dr. Marites A. Ibanez, ako po, si Merlin B. Sancha, head teacher ni Pedro, na nagsasabi na, lalago ka sa Laguna. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you very much po, Dr. Merlin Sancha from Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School. And before we proceed to our next presenter, we would like to remind our live viewers that there will be a quick academic exchange after we presented all these four practices. We already have one, so we have three more to go. So after po noon, you better prepare a questions and concerns right away because that will be addressed soon. And for our next presenter, we have from Luis Y. Ferrer Jr. West National High School, the reading coordinator, Miss Jacqueline Badana. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. A pleasant afternoon to everybody. I am Jocelyn D. Badana, a teacher from Luis Y. Ferrer Jr. West National High School, Division of General PSCP, under the supervision of SDS Dr. Doris DJ Estrella and guidance of CID Chief Ma'am Laura O. Garcia and Ma'am Maria Glesita C. Columna, EPS in English. It is my honor to share with you the CURE program, which stands for Devoting Care to Uplift Reading Efficiency. Our banner program is one thing we are proud of. Over the years, it has continuously helped teachers and our students in a challenging sequence of teaching and learning process. Being integrated in the localized and contextualized curriculum of the school, it is considered one of the biggest factors of the increasing number of recognitions we receive based on students' performance. In this regard, we ardently attribute the inclusion of our school in the list of performing schools based on PISA results for the year 2019. We fervently believe that every school should be able to establish a culture of reading that will nurture learners to achieve optimum learning outcomes in the delivery of basic education. On behalf of the faculty, I would like to present to you our journey in the implementation of the CURE program and how this influenced the lives of the selected PISA examiners from Louise Wyfer Junior West National High School. Also, on behalf of the principal, Dr. Prudencio Animas, and our most competent PSDS, Dr. Rogin O. Contemprat.
According to CNN Philippines Life, as of the third quarter of 2019, the UNESCO, or the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, ranked the Philippines above its Southeast Asian neighbors in terms of literacy, with 97.95% of the total population able to read, write, and count. But the question is, how could the people of a highly literate nation be left behind in terms of both academic and economic progress? As what was inferred, it turns out that the key issue here isn't so much about literacy, as it is about comprehension. To address these alarming concerns, Louise Wyfer Junior West National High School established its own reading program, which aims to aid, if not totally eradicate, the school's problems in reading.
We recognize the urgent need to address the problem in reading comprehension, most especially to West High's clienteles. Thus, the CURE program was born. Hi, I am Curie, the school's reading ambassador. Join me as we explore how the CURE program came to be.
This started in 2017 through the school's continuous improvement program, VERS, which means Vocabulary Enrichment for Reading Comprehension Skills. This program focuses on vocabulary development of grade 7 students done through activities such as spelling, context clues, word puzzles, word games, and sentence writing. Vocabulary words are taken from Philippine literary texts. In 2018, our school was chosen to take part in the Program for International Student Assessment, or the PISA. This is a triennial survey of 15-year-old students around the world that assesses the extent to which they have acquired the key knowledge and skills essential for full participation in society. The assessment focuses on the core school subjects of reading, mathematics, and science. PISA 2018 tests how many students can apply their knowledge to real-life situations and problems rather than testing their knowledge recall. There are 42 sample students in Louise Wyfer Junior West National High School selected based on KeyQuest, a school sampling software that is provided with the international contractors. They are composed of 15-year-old students who are approaching the end of their compulsory education. These students underwent regular review sessions which was facilitated by some of the active teachers of the school in a duration of 3 weeks. This is to mentally and physically prepare them for the assessment. During the tedious preparation, they were provided with relevant educational resources such as books and the internet. This is to provide them the food for their minds. They were also served with meals and snacks to provide them their food for their body.
Despite the efforts of the school in preparing for the said assessment, results showed that the Philippines scored lower in reading, mathematics, and science than those in most of the countries and economies that participated.
The country's average score in reading was 342 score points, which made us gain the last spot in reading. In mathematics and science, Philippines scored 353 and 357 points respectively, which made us gain second to the last spot in mathematics and science. Over 80% of students in the Philippines did not reach a minimum level of proficiency in reading, which is one of the largest shares of low performers amongst all PISA participating countries and economies. According to Perez, who is the current president of the Reading Association of the Philippines, the demands of literacy and numeracy have evolved, but literacy instruction in the Philippines still revolves around narratives. In 21st century learning, we should already be exposing our students to expository texts which deal with information. They should be exposed more on information gathering, verification and cross-checking of facts, the interpretation of graphs, and other critical thinking skills. Even in West High, the existence of poor reading performance of students is evident.
West High officially launched its reading program, The Cure, devoting care to uplift reading efficiency. Is an interdisciplinary and intradisciplinary outcome-based reading intervention project that aims to assist readers in their reading difficulties, improve reading level, and decrease non-readers. Here's Ms. Jonaline C. Inocencio, the school's reading coordinator, to give us more details about the reading program.
Or devoting care to uplift reading efficiency begins as soon as the student decides to enroll in junior high school. A pre-need assessment in reading is conducted all throughout enrollment to detect the approximate number of non-readers entering grade 7 and to guide students and their parents on how to deal with cases of slow readers and poor readers. For the first 2 months, the Phil-Erie group screening test helps teachers assess whether students are reading at, above, or below their grade levels. It is also used to identify readers who need further testing. After the group screening test, teachers identify the level to which each student falls under. The reading teacher designs a schedule for the reading intervention or remedial reading activities of the students. Slow readers or students who struggle decoding printed symbols and non-readers or students who couldn't make sense of the printed symbols will be pulled out from their English and Filipino class for reading intervention activities. On the other hand, students who are under frustration level and most likely considered poor readers or students with poor reading skills shall attend remedial reading activities scheduled after or before class with the approval of their parent or guardian. As classroom intervention, the CURE conducts repeated reading of text at the child's level until the child demonstrates confidence and success in reading. In the course of the intervention and remediation programs, performances of students shall be monitored and recorded on their reading portfolio.
These practices did not stop even during the strike of COVID-19 pandemic. We adjusted procedures in the context of the current situation. We conducted reading assessments over the phone, through video calls, Zoom, or Google Meet. We continue to religiously practice the CURE reading sessions. We have improved reading corners and hubs, which are utilized during retrieval time by both teachers and parents. And what's more interesting is that we challenge all our stakeholders to have their own reading corners, home edition.
To point out the program's best practices, here is Mrs. Nanette P. Salvador, a proud reading advocate, our school head.
We cannot say that our reading program is flawless and is highly recommended to other schools in establishing a consistent reading habit among the students, because I believe that every school has a different context and concerns to address, especially in terms of reading. However, as the school head of West High, I am very certain that the implementation of our reading program, the Cure, has applied several best practices to ensure its effectiveness and efficiency to all our clienteles. First is the consistent monitoring of our teachers on the students' reading performance. It is done not only by the language department but across all subject areas. You know, it touches my heart when I see my colleagues spending time, sometimes even beyond their working hours, just to meet with their assigned students and help them perform reading drills to improve their skills. Even before the pandemic, our teachers continued to monitor the progress of our students through digital platforms and over the phone sessions. Second is the unwavering support and cooperation from our parents and stakeholders. The students become more active and eager to participate in the project, knowing that even their parents are game and read with them, especially when it is reading time now. So wherever they may be, they read together. We also receive book donations from different organizations and generous individuals, which made our reading resources sufficient for all our learners. And of course, we are proud of our students' discipline in reading and learning. Since 2017, we have established a regular routine of using break times as a chance for everyone to grab a book and immerse oneself in reading. I saw this practice that it has really helped the students develop effective time management and develop sincerity in performing the tasks and activities given to them. Most of them have become a responsible and independent learners through consistent practice of Project The Cure, devoting care to uplift reading efficiency.
As a result of these hard works, the program received different recognitions from different award-giving bodies. In the division level, we were recognized as the Gawad Galing Gentry Most Effective Reading Program Implementer in the high school category. In the regional level, we reigned as the Gawad Patnugot Most Effective High School Reading Program Implementer winner. And we are also recognized as one of the schools which performed well in PISA 2018 based on schools' individual performance.
And to share a bit of their experience as to how these practices have improved their academic performance and eventually their lives, here are some testimonials from our West High alumni and current student for school year 2020-2021.
Experience ko po nung nag-PISA ay nakakaba dahil dito po masusukat ano po yung kakayahan o nakakaangat ang Pilipinas sa pag-aaral. Dahil po dito, gumawa po ang Luis Sorcerer para po saan pag-review ang mga estudyante na nakasali sa PISA sa Luis. Kami po ay pinagamit ng computer lab kung saan ang mga computer ay pinagamit sa amin para mag-review, katulad ng science, English, at math. Ang magandang dulot nito sa amin ay nagkaroon kami ng kaalaman sa PISA dahil kami po ay tinutukan ng mga teacher sa Luis. Ang aking pangalan ay Donna Rose Albino, grade 9 sa Tila, nung nag-PISA po kami. Ang aming estado po ngayon ay ako po ay nag-aaral sa Notre Dame at ang aking kukuhain sa college sa PAGSO ay Culinary Interior Design o di kaya Criminology. Thank you po.
Self-studying and lack of some resources are some of the reasons that make learning difficult for me. As a student of modular printed class in this pandemic, but through my immersive reading and effort in understanding the materials was provided to me, somehow I can still cope with these challenges. And I am grateful to Project The Cure because since I was grade 7, we are exposed to different reading materials and strategy in our school that helped me to improve my comprehension and widen in my vocabulary. And now I appreciate reading better.
With the pandemic having no ending in sight, teaching reading may probably be as hard as mowing down obstacles and struggles to get through improved learning outcomes of students. As Louise Weifer Junior West National High School battles its fate to implement its learning continuity plan, it clings to its strongest deterrent to learning crisis, the CURE program. We believe that no matter how small, simple steps can lead to numerous successful journeys ahead. I am your host, Curie, leaving you the West High's guiding mantras. Soar high, West High. Only the best from the West. West High at 2021, redefining goals, exploring opportunities.
Thank you very much, Luis Y. Ferrer Jr. West National High School from the Schools Division of General Santos City. Now let's have our next presenter. That is from the Schools Division of Cabuyao City, the Cabuyao Integrated National High School, to be presented by Mr. Ricky Maranya.
Good afternoon. From the City Schools Division of Cabuyao, with our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Heriberto Jose D. Miranda, ASDS, Dr. Neil Angeles, CID Chief, Dr. Edna F. Jimenez, SGOD Chief, Dr. Charlie Alukin, Education Program Supervisor in English, Dr. Jonathan H. Marquez, District 3 Supervisor, Dr. Jeanette F. Haro, and our school head, Ma'am Chidora M. Galang. I am Ricky Maranya, presenting Project READ, Reading Enhancement and Development, a reading project implemented by Cabuyao Integrated National High School. Here it is.
Hi there! This is teacher Rosemary De Mejer.
And I am teacher Leilani T. Siddique, and we are the grade 7 English teachers of Cabuyao Integrated National High School.
Over the years, Cabuyao Integrated National High School has strived to deliver quality education to Cabuyeño learners. This time, join us as we witness the journey of our school's reading program.
In 2018, Mr. Ricky Maranya, then English coordinator, and Mrs. Lailani Siddique, a grade 7 English teacher, attended the division orientation on the conduct of PhilErie GST, also known as the Philippine Informal Reading Inventory Group Screening Test. The said meeting paved way to the emergence of Cabuyao Integrated National High School's reading program, Project READ, Reading Enhancement and Development.
A proposal was immediately crafted in compliance with the DepEd Order Number 18, Series of 2017, or Every Child a Reader program. This program aims to develop the literacy and numeracy skills among the Filipino learners, which will contribute to their lifelong learning.
Project Read has three phases: the pre-implementation, the implementation, and the post-implementation phases. Let's talk about the pre-implementation phase. Reading teachers planned the activities for the program. Orientation among the stakeholders, which include parents, teachers, and students, was conducted to further inform the nature, purpose, and benefits of the reading program to the students.
The implementation phase. The reading teachers utilized different teaching approaches to identify non-readers such as letter and sound familiarization, blending the sounds of letters, and reading CVCs or consonant, vowel, consonant. Activities were upgraded to reading worksheets and reading texts. Other reading materials like worksheets and list of sight words were provided by the reading teachers and were compiled for future use. The reading teachers also encouraged the participants to work in pairs to introduce reading buddy.
What is a reading buddy?
A reading buddy is a concept of reading in pairs. This promotes productive reading while creating camaraderie in class. The pairing can be made according to reading ability. Independent readers can be teamed up with non-readers or struggling readers. The idea is to make sure that readers with low reading ability will be assisted by readers with high reading ability.
When and where is reading remediation conducted?
The reading remediation is conducted after the class. Teachers allot an hour for this activity. The school procured mats to be used by the students for their reading needs. The school library and the PPP building were used as venues for the tutorial sessions. The Filipino department also has their own reading program, Programang 5Ps, which complements the reading program of the English department. The records show similar participants for both Project Read and Programang 5Ps.
Teacher Lailani, how long is the reading remediation conducted?
The reading remediation is conducted for 3 months.
Given the population of the school, the diversity of students is undeniably evident. From non-readers to independent readers, Cabuyao Integrated National High School provides holistic activities to meet the different needs of students. Word of the day, poster making contest, read a book with a friend, storytelling, quiz B, read and draw, spelling bee, choral reading, literary book characters.
The post-implementation phase. How is the reading program assessed?
Mr. Ricky Marana, the head teacher of English department, conducted the evaluation of the reading program participants. The reading test played an important role to identify whether the participants improved in the 12-week reading tutorial. The participants were given certificates of recognition for successfully completing the entire reading program.
It could only come land, domestic air, and domestic sea travel to and from Metro Manila shall be suspended beginning March 15th.
How did the pandemic change the landscape of the reading program?
At Cabuyao Integrated National High School, we strongly believe in the Department of Education statement that learning must continue.
While the unprecedented and the global outbreak of the COVID-19 affects the lives of millions, a sense of normalcy among learners is something that will make a difference.
That is correct. Learning must continue and it must be part of the daily functions as it always should be. While there are challenges along the way, we welcome them and we deliver our best.
Indeed, this new normal, we welcome the bumps and hurdles. We thrive and strive to serve the core of education, our learners.
Now, let's find out more of the school's activities in promoting the love for reading.
As the coming of the digital age can be seen as very rampant nowadays, the emphasis on the use of library is very important. In Cabuyao Integrated National High School, we do not just make our library a spot where learning resources are kept, but we also created this as a place where students can discover and gain new learnings and develop the habit and love for reading. CINHS Library finds ways to respond to the needs of students by administering some programs continuously. These programs include the creation of CINHS Library Facebook page, where all the activities of the library are announced and some of the information sources are posted for updates. In response to the celebration of LIS Month every November of the year, CINHS Library conducted digital poster making contest and book talk contest among our students. Some students participated and enjoyed the contest, especially the winners because they received cash prizes. At this age of computer emergence, CINHS library staffs initiated the request from DOST to grant the installation of e-library and Starbooks to the two computers in our library for the students to use in their studies. The involvement of some LGUs, private institutions like STI, and other stakeholders has become a very big help in improving our library as they donated contemporary books that students can read, and a resource speaker was invited to share his insights on fake news and images.
Cabuyao Integrated National High School still believes that the love for reading should still be promoted among students despite our situation where they are confined in the corners of their homes. Besides, when students are not in school, they least prioritize reading among any other activities. To address this, Cabuyao Integrated National High School has initiated a 30-day reading challenge program, which engages senior high school students in reading. This program supports DepEd's Brigada Pagbasa, which is anchored in the Memorandum Number 53, Series of 2020, titled Joint Implementing Guidelines on the 2020 Brigada Eskwela and Oplan Balik Eskwela. During the conduct of the activity, the teacher gives reading materials every morning and retrieves students' feedback every afternoon using the group chat so that students can participate in the question and answer regarding what they read. In this way, students' reading engagement can be monitored. Every Saturday, participants join games using Facebook Live, and the teacher presents materials that are related to what they read, and Sundays are dedicated for independent reading. This activity evidently gained positive response among students as they look forward to more reading activities even after the 30-day reading challenge.
My name is Rania Manuel. I am a senior high school STEM student of Cabuyao Integrated National High School. Our first few months in a pandemic may seem boring or we feel anxious about our health. Our 30-day reading challenge activity made me love to read again, since I used to love reading books during my free time. Each day, I've read interesting stories and lessons that I also apply in my daily life. It was enjoyable, and I can divert my attention from our COVID situation and learn something from those stories being posted and be more productive in our daily life.
The reading team has continuously looked for different ways on how the implementation of the reading program can be maximized. Along the way, problems were encountered and solutions were introduced. This cycle of problems and solutions eventually paved the way for what the team considers to be its best practices. First is the conduct of one-on-one tutorials. Participants of the program are given free food and snacks. Because of this, students did not have to go home early. Cases of students not attending the sessions and opting out of the program were eventually reduced to virtually zero. It is also worth noting that all materials that the students use, even those that they bring home, are given to them for free. These materials include the copies of various reading texts, intervention activities for vocabulary development, as well as the exercise sheets that were used during the conduct of the reading program. At the end of the program, the students who displayed significant improvement in their reading skills were given certificates of recognition. The certificates became a symbol of what they have gone through with the reading program. It is a symbol that every hard work is rewarded. Finally, it is undeniable that the participation of stakeholders is a vital part of the program's success. Without the constant and meaningful communication between the parents and the teachers, the students' efforts would have been in vain. It is through persistent follow-ups and monitoring at home that the reading program became successful.
Wow! What a journey for Project Read!
I agree. The dedication and passion of the reading team of Cabuyao Integrated National High School is truly outstanding.
It is simply remarkable how the teamwork among the members of the faculty member and the partnership between our LGUs and stakeholders totally go a long way. So, congratulations to all the members of the team, And more importantly, congratulations to our students, then and now, who had become and still are part of the reading program. Hats off to you.
Yes, this is really an exceptional program. In fact, one of the milestones of the reading program is that our school is being hailed as one of the top performing schools in the entire Calabarzon in 2018 Program for International Students Assessment or PISA.
Wow! Congratulations to everyone. That is simply so amazing. Now, Teacher Lailani, let's hear from the team.
And all the experiences gained from our Project Read,
We, the reading teachers of Kabuyo Integrated National High School,
learned how to manage and adapt to the students' different personalities, skills, and ability.
Through these meaningful and productive experiences,
we have developed interest, loyalty, and perseverance in teaching our students to read and eradicate non-readers.
most of all, we learned that it is necessary to have the heart of teaching the students in guiding them,
Not just to read, but to develop competencies that will help them in the future.
Thank you very much. That is from Cabuyao Integrated National High School. And now let's have our last presenter from the Schools Division of Dasmariñas City, from Dasmariñas North National High School. Let us have Ms. Giselle Maristaza. Now we can hear you. I think your microphone is turned off. Turned off. The audio.
Hi, good afternoon, Sir Dong. Good afternoon, everyone. In behalf of the English Department, our Department Coordinator, Mrs. Felicidad Espiritu, our Principal, Sir Francis Kenneth Hernandez, our Education Program Supervisor, Sir Noel Anchado, our Public School District Supervisor, Ma'am Thelma Bueno, our Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Celedonio B. Valderas. I am Giselle G. Maristaza from Dasmariñas North National High School from the Division of Dasmariñas, and I'll be presenting our school's reading program called Developing Reading Achievement and Mastery or DREAM. Please stay tuned while I play a short video presentation about our program. If you are all ready, let us watch this video that we made about DREAM.
Dasmariñas North National High School started its reading program during the school year 2016 to 2017 as a result of the Continuous Improvement Program, wherein it was previously called Dig into Reading. The program was based from the National Achievement Test results of the previous school years, where the students' least learned skill is reading, particularly items targeting the skills of inferencing. The program's first clienteles were 20 grade 10 students from the same school year who were referred by their English teachers to have the lowest scores on both their pre-test and first quarter grades. The group had 10-day reading lessons with the teachers of English. After the sessions, it was concluded that the reading lessons had an impact in the pre- and post-test scores of the 20 grade 10 student clienteles. The English department then cascaded the program to the grade 9, grade 8, and eventually grade 7 students of the same school year. The school year 2017 to 2018 marked the official launching of the school's reading program, the Developing Reading Achievement and Mastery or DREAM. Dream started early during the early registration period. All of the incoming grade 7 students were given oral and written tests in English. The program catered 161 student clienteles and were later discovered 156 struggling readers and 5 severe readers. Two of them were students with special needs. The large number of clienteles gave rise to the Dream Team, namely Mrs. Giselle G. Maristasa as the program coordinator, Mrs. Joy M. G. Giawan, Mrs. Emelinda C. Carillo, Mrs. Janice T. Corpus, Mrs. Rowena V. Baruela, and Miss Jenny B. Agkawili, with the support of Mrs. Bella D. Del Monte, the head teacher in English, and Mrs. Violeta R. Gonzalo, the former principal of the school.
Dream continuously seek for innovations in the start of every school year. Thus, the school year of 2018 to 2019 pushed through in giving oral and written assessments to the incoming grade 7 students using the San Diego Quick Assessment Reading Tests and the activities for better reading comprehension reading materials. The Dream Team also wanted to further assess the student clientele's reading levels, which led to 31 struggling readers and 26 severe readers with, in total, 57 clienteles for the school year. Out of the 57 students, 5 of them were mainstreamed or pulled out of the program for they have already passed the reading level they needed to cope up with regular classes.
Morning po. So, nandito po tayo para sa interview natin para sa reading program. Meron tayong mga tanong dito. Unahin ko na po kung ano po yung masasabi ninyo tungkol sa reading program natin na tinatawag na DREAM last year. Hindi po, Mother.
Masasabi ko, naging malaking tulong sa ano ko kasi nakakabasa ko sa mga basa ng English na yun. Kaysa nung dati pa.
Ikaw naman.
Mabilis ako kung may basa ng
Alright. Ano-ano ba yung mga nagustuhan mo, Kuya, doon sa DREAM, sa reading program natin last year?
araw-araw ko nagtuturo magbasa ng
Sino ba ang teacher mo naman?
Sir Marvin po.
Sir Marvin. Kayo po, Nanay, ano ba ang gusto niyo doon sa reading program natin?
Nakakabasa na siya, matuto siya magbasa ng English, mga sentences, ay yung mga i-pronounce, kahit pa paano, hindi ko tulad ng dati. Kung dito ko, nahihirapan pa ako magturo. Ngayon, medyo nagkaya ng
So, sa tingin niyo ba, Nanay, nakatulong naman sa anak ninyo yung reading program?
Malaking tulong kasi nakabasa na siya.
Okay. Sa'yo, Kuya, nakatulong ba sa'yo yung reading program? Sa paanong paraan? Paano nakatulong yung programa sa'yo?
Ano ba, nakakabasa na po.
So, doon sa isang buong taon na magkasama tayo ni Sir Marvin sa reading program, meron ka bang gustong idagdag na gagawin namin sa reading program or meron ka bang gustong baguhin? Wala naman. Kayo po, Nanay, may gusto kayong ipadagdag o ipabago sa program?
Maganda naman po kasi yung program. Okay. So, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat po.
Magandang umaga po. Ano ang masasabi ninyo sa reading program natin?
Ang masasabi ko muna, natuto talaga yung aking anak sa pagbabasa. Naging mabilis ang kanyang pagbasa. Kaya naman po nila, tututo naman po ang magbasa at saka na ano ko naman po yung binabasa.
Ano-ano ang mga nagustuhan ninyo sa program natin?
Ang nagustuhan ko yung naging active ko sa leksyon niya sa school. Ay, para naman po, maganda naman po yung tinutulong sa binabasa.
So, nakatulong ba ang program sa inyo at saka sa iyo?
Malaking tulong.
Mayroon ba kayong nakita o gustong ipadagdag para mapaganda ang ating program?
Opo, yung pagbabasa ulit sa mga grade kasi yung ibalik ka na ganun. Idalag ko doon. Opo, kasi po para sa
maraming salamat po. Ano ang masasabi ninyo sa reading program?
Ang masasabi ko po nakabuti po sa aking anak, yung reading program po. Kasi
Ano-ano ang mga nagustuhan ninyo sa Dream? Yun po yung reading program.
ang nagustuhan ko po sa programa, ang anak ko po natuto po magbasa ng English, kahit kahit paano na minsan hindi ko na siya pinuturuan, mag-isa lang po siya magbasa.
Nakatulong ba ang program sa anak ninyo? At saka sa inyo po?
Malaking tulong po sa anak ko. At sa akin din po kasi dati tinutulungan ko talaga siya. Ngayon po, siya na po mag-isang natuto sa akin na mag-isa sa sarili ko.
Mayroon ba kayong nakita o gustong ipadagdag sa programa bilang isang improvement?
Ang gusto ko po, sana po tuloy-tuloy na lang at napupangasa ang mga niya. Saka hindi natin napabilis na sa pag-unawa.
Ano po ang nagustuhan ninyo sa reading program?
Ang nagustuhan ko po ito kasi dito, libre na. Sa libre na, nakakapag-aral pa sila naman dito. Natuturuan sila, natuturuan sila. Tapos, kaya lang anak ko lang po talagang hindi talaga maano. Kaya nagpapasalamat ako sa inyo na nandito kayo. Sumusubaybay sa anak ko rin, sa ibang bata.
Apo, palagay niyo po, Nay, nakatulong po ang reading program?
Nakatulong po talaga ng malaki yun. Kasi kahit ako talaga, kung dati nag-aaral ako, ayan dati ang hinahanap ko. Pero, hindi naman ako magbasa. Ang gusto ko talaga, mabihasa lang ako para alam ko lahat ng mga salita, kung paano gamitin. At pagpunta sa abroad, alam mo na.
Apo.
Alam naman po kayo.
Apo.
Nakatulong mo talaga, lalo na sa anak ko.
Oo, salamat po, Nay. Sa palagay niyo, Nay, meron pa po kaming dapat pang baguhin doon sa reading program namin? Kasi sinusubaybayan po namin si Jomel ngayon. Grade 9 na siya, di ba? So sa palagay po ninyo, meron pa ba kaming dapat ayusin doon sa reading program?
Sa inyo lang masabi. Anak ko talagang masabi ko. Kasi anak ko
Sa anak?
talaga, hindi talaga ma'am. Sa inyo lang masabi. Masabi ko sa mga anak ko, salamat sa Jomel, merong ganyang program. Sana sa amin wala doon dati. Kaya nagpapasalamat ako sa mga teacher mo. Kaya sabi ko, naiyak nila ako. Paano kung walang sila?
Para mabigyan kasagutan yung problema natin dito sa school natin. Marami po tayong nagiging estudyante, lalo sa grade 7, na hirap pong magbasa. Tapos po, ang school po natin, kasama ng English Department, gumawa po kami ng isang programa para matugunan ang problema. Ngayon po gusto kong malaman kung kilala na po ba ninyo yung programa?
Kilala naman, lalo na 3 years ago na yun.
Kayo po, sir.
Ano po, narinig ko lang kaya nakulang ngayon ko lang na narinig ko na ganun ka
Kanino po natin nalaman itong programa na to? Sa kapwa po ba na parents? Sa bata rin po ba? O sa amin po mga teacher?
Galing sa teacher, galing sa school.
Galing sa school po.
Registration kasi pupuntahin mo na sila para ready.
Ngayon po, nung nalaman natin na may ganito po tayong programa, ano po ba yung opinion natin kung may tungkol dito? Mabuti po ba ito? Nakakatulong po ba talaga ito?
Ang nakakatulong po ito ng malakas sa mga bata. Kasi once na ano sila na hindi sila marunong magbasa, doon sila tinuturuan ng mga teacher na kapag nabasa sa during, after, or during na bago nila. Saka sila sinusuportahan. Maganda naman malaking tulong ng programa nyo dito. Kasi, totoo yan. Maraming mga bata na hindi marunong na no-read, no-write. At natututo sila ng pakunti-kunti ng dahil sa inyo.
So, ang dami malalaman kung yung mga estudyante ng graduate na galing ng elementary, kung paano kung ano natutunan nila hanggang sa reading, grade list. Kasi kung hindi natin tututunan, hindi natin malalaman kung hanggang saan yung kapasidad ng bata at kung hanggang saan yung natutunan nila sa elementary, papunta rito sa university. So, pagka nalaman natin na ang reading niya ay ganito lamang, dapat para may improve o may i-enhance ng teacher yung kanila pagbabasa.
Yes, ma'am. Ano po yung reading program, ma'am? Nag-start po siya 3 years ago. And nalaman ko lang po sa nito mag-registration. Nagkaroon po kasi ng meeting ang mga teacher and parents na titigil sa office po sa principal ako sa early registration na po. Tapos, nagkaroon po ng motor take ang mga teachers.
Una sa mga magulang malaking tulong. Dahil sa una hindi nila natutukan yung mga estudyante nila. So hindi dahil sa mga teacher na nagpursige para sige na ganyan ng programang nakaka. Kaya napakalaking tulong din.
This year, DREAM aims to sustain the program's goal of helping struggling readers to read better, but this time across all macro skills: listening, reading, speaking, writing, and viewing. As the program starts this school year, the DREAM team assessed about 70 student clienteles from the 25 sections of the grade 7. The opening ceremony marks the beginning of the school program. Today, reading lessons were done for 4 days in a week following the module devised by the team to help the clientele's need for better reading.
There we have it, our four reading programs across Calabarzon. Congratulations to our presenters, and this time may we request all of our four presenters to be with me in the live stream because at this juncture, we'll be entertaining some concerns and questions coming from our live viewers. And while we are waiting for the questions, please kaway-kaway po kayo from SDO Laguna, Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School,
Hello
Dr.
po.
Merlin Sancha.
There is watching.
Yes
Marian
po.
Martínez. I'm not
Yes. Now now from SDO General Trias City, Luis Ferrer Jr. West National High School, Ma'am Jaiseline Badani. Yeah, say hi po sa camera. And now from Cabuyao Integrated National High School from Cabuyao City, Mr. Ricky Maranya. Say hello, sir.
Hello po.
And from Dasmariñas North National High School, Dasmariñas City, Ma'am Giselle Maristaza. Tama po ba, Giselle?
Giselle, sir. Thank you.
Oh, Giselle. Sorry. Okay, Giselle. Okay. For the questions, if it is addressed po sa isang presenter lamang, you may do it so. But if the question is for all of them, so una nating pasasagutin is from SDO Laguna, then from Gen 3, from Cabuyao, and then from Dasmariñas. If the question is for all of you to answer. Okay, Ma'am Abby. Okay, first, yan, from Ma'am Winifreda Diquit. Questions to the presenters. First, what M&E tools do you use to measure impact of your reading programs, especially during the pandemic? And the second one, your strategies yield the same results this year in comparison to this year? Okay. Sino pong gustong unang sumagot? Meron po ba? Willing agad? Mamaya mananawag ako.
SDO Laguna.
That's from Ma'am Winifreda Diquit. Yes, ma'am. Dr. Merlin.
Okay.
Go
Hello
ahead po.
po from SDO Laguna. Thank you, Ma'am Winifred.
Meron po, ma'am. Meron
To your
pong reading
question,
text.
what measure and tool do you use to measure impact, monitoring and evaluation tools do you use to measure impact of your reading programs, especially during the pandemic? During the pandemic po, SDO Laguna is implementing Project Reach. Yun pong reading empowerment, asserting connections at home. So when we the start of our implementation, yun pong collection or selection of participants po. We based it from the grades of the students first quarter. Kasi the implementation po just started this month, yung March. So we base the selection from the grades. Yun po yung baseline data namin. From there, we monitor it. So, ang monitoring po, we will base now on their second quarter grade, third quarter grade, until fourth quarter. Yun po. And the evaluation tools po, the every week. Yun po. Thank you.
Ma'am Jaiseline, you're next po from Gen 3.
Yeah, good afternoon po. In this pandemic, actually, po, we use the computation from the computation and reading level description provided in the reading manual and weekly monitoring form po which are indicated in the reading manual. Ayun po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Thank you po, ma'am. Now let's have from Cabuyao City. Sir, what's your
Yeah,
M&E
po.
tool?
Kabuyo Integrated National High School started our reading assessment as early as September 2020. Our teachers send them a copy of a reading text and then ask the students of ODL and MDL to videotape their reading. So, and then they're going to send that one to the reading teacher, and then the reading teacher, they have uh, the monitoring tool, and then assessing what part of the text the students have committed errors and mistakes. And then
Okay.
every month we have our monitoring of how many students undergo with the progression and development through reading. That's it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now let's have from Dasmariñas City, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So for our school, to be very honest, we respected our colleagues or teachers' decision to not really have our usual dream program this school year because of a very high number of COVID-19 cases in our area. But during this school year, since October and until now, our colleagues in the English department uh, conducted reading tests for our students through our usual communication with them for our synchronous classes or by sending text messages to our students and their parents because most of our colleagues are high risk in COVID-19. That's the only measure that we have to still continue our program. And last January, some of our colleagues in the department are really gained courage to go to the houses of the students who are really in need of the reading remediation. So from there, we can assess and see if they are progressing in their reading comprehension level of or their understanding of the target language, which is English. So we
Mhm.
base our evaluation through their grades in the first quarter, and now we are continuing the program through just looking at their grades in the English for this quarter, second quarters.
Okay, thank you very much po. I hope the concerns of Ma'am Winifreda was addressed. The concern of Ma'am Winifreda was addressed. Now let's have our next
Hello,
question,
sir.
please. Oh yes po, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hello, sir. May I add po dito sa number
Go
one? We
ahead po.
also have,
Sige po.
yes po, we also have MAR, yung monthly assessment for reading. Yun. One of
Monthly
our
assessment.
reading, yes po, reading materials and evaluation tool po. And then to answer number two, your strategies yield the same result
The
this
same
year in comparison to this year's. In
to this year.
comparison to this year po, we are just implemented the Project Reach. So ngayong March. So we have pilot implementers po. So in doing Project Reach, in implementing Project Reach, of course, the participation of our parents, we believe in them. So mas ano po, we have high expectations that this Project Reach really will answer the needs of our students. And then po we have in SDO Laguna po we have RBI initiates yung radio broadcasting instruction po. Also the teachers are doing this, yung mga sa RBI po. So we involve the parents for better results. Ayun po.
Okay, ma'am, follow up ako na po yung
Thank you.
mag-follow up bago po natin
Yes
pasagutin
po.
yung next presenter natin, 'di ba? Yung MAR po nyo, tama po ba? Monthly
RBI
siya
po.
kinakonduct. Yung monthly
Yes po.
assessment for reading, monthly po siya
Yes
kinakonduct.
po.
Tapos before the pandemic, may MAR na po talaga kayo.
Yes po. It's under
Okay,
Project
okay.
Rise. And
Okay
then
po.
we continue it lang po with Project Reach with the help of the parents.
Ayun. Mas may direct involvement na ngayon yung parents. Next,
Opo.
let's have from General Trias po, Ma'am Jaceline, yung mga resulta po ng inyong mga assessments, kumusta po?
Sir, yun pong aming GST, we were able to conduct our group screening test po last October. And then from the result, we were able to find out the reading level of the students. But not all, sir, because not everybody have that capacity to get the group screening test questionnaires to us. From the result po, we were able to identify the reading level of the students, and from that, binigyan po namin sila ng kanilang reading intervention, and the result actually are very different result because the selection of learners were based on their performance in the different learning modalities. And the post-test of PhilErie last year, it's difficult to determine po if the reading level now because of the authenticity of the result in the administration of the comprehension test such as PhilErie. Thank you, sir.
Yes, totoo naman po yun. You were also concerned about the authenticity of the result na pwedeng lumabas ngayon, especially na hindi full ang supervision ng teacher, hindi kasama mismo ng teacher, hindi tayo face-to-face. Next, let's have from Cabuyao City, Sir Ricky. Sir, we can't hear you po. Your mic is turned off po.
The result of our, based on the GST from the PhilErie, we have struggling readers, and our teachers together with the parents, our teachers communicated properly with the parents and telling the parents to teach their children to read, at the same time videotaping the process while the students are reading. And then we have our monthly report, because last November we have struggling readers, almost 99 or 100, I think. And then it decreased last December, and then January, it is really decreasing. With the help of the remedial reading and text given by our teachers. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And lastly, let's have from Dasmariñas City,
Thank you, Sir
Ma'am
Dom.
Giselle.
Just to answer question number 2, as of the moment, we are still waiting for the final grades of our students for the second quarter. So I cannot speak for the result as of the moment. However,
Yes.
Because we have seen the students during the first quarter, we discovered that some of our students in the dream class during the school year 2019 and 2020 were also the students who still need the reading remediation that we offer. So from there, we have a head start on what reading material we can give to them as sustainability for our program. So as of the moment, we are still waiting for their scores for the second grading. And I'm hoping that there is an increase or an improvement at least, because they have undergone at least 2 months for the second quarter for their reading performance.
Okay. Ma'am Giselle, follow up lang po. This is for you lang po. You mentioned kasi that the assessment that you use ay yung pong results ng kanilang grades, yung quarterly grades. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir.
Is that your only way to assess po the reading performance of your learners or your reading program? Or I mean, that only the sole and the prime assessment tool that you use?
Not really. My colleagues and I really talk about this. Like for example, si ganitong estudyante nandito pala ulit sa grade 7, meaning he was our student last school year, and then
Yes.
hindi siguro siya na-promote nung nakaraan.
Yes.
So, nag-usap kami, ano na naman ang ibibigay natin sa kanya, dapat ba itong ulitin? So, meron din kami ganung conversation with our colleague. And then from there, we really try to go to their area, ibigay at ipaliwanag sa bata at sa parent kung ano yung pangangailangan pa ng bata. But of course, we follow the minimum health standard protocol that is still implemented here in our area because napakataas po talaga. We are very reluctant talaga to go this far for their
Yes.
reading comprehension and understanding, no? But there is a need. There is really a need. Also, we'd like to talk to the parents talaga po. Either ganito,
Yes.
online or text or call or kung kaya ng teacher, face to face talaga. Kasi kailangan namin sabihin sa kanila na hindi po kayo pwedeng mag-intervene sa activity na ito dahil this is for your child. Kailangan nilang mag-improve. And mahirap na noon, mas mahirap ngayon because we really cannot teach them face-to-face. Yung face-to-face nga
Mismo.
kami, medyo hirap na kami. What more is
Exactly.
that? So,
Sige po. Tama
those are
po.
the simple ways that we do to still continue with our program despite the high number of cases here.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was the point also of Ma'am Jayceline, that their program is concerned on the authenticity and validity of anything that they will do, especially this time of pandemic. Thank you very much po, and Ma'am Abby. And thank you very much din po for the question, Ma'am Winifreda. Now let's have our next question is from Riz Remulia. So it says here, how can you measure the validity, and speaking of validity, of the reading test if most of our students are not engaged in online classes? I have heard that you ask the students to take a video while doing the reading. So how do you assist those students who do not have means and ways to do that because of financial difficulty, considering the pandemic? So first to respond, Doc Merlin.
Okay, good afternoon po ulit. Thank you, Ma'am Reese Remulia, for your question. So the recorded materials for those learners without assistance from parents, the SDO Laguna gave radio and USB where these materials will be saved. And then yung radio-based reading lessons can reach all learners even if they do not have gadgets. May validators po ang SDO Laguna to ensure that materials are valid. So we conduct first pre-test, then we get the validity and reliability result. So that if there are need for revision, magagawa po agad depending on their students' need. And then we finalize the materials. We also ask the LGU for additional radio which can be used even without electricity. Yun po.
Ayun.
These are the ways of SDO Laguna in combating this the situation right now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Therefore, sa Laguna, may validator kami at may tulong ang LGU namin kahit walang gadget ang learners. Tama po, di ba, ma'am? Thank you very much po, Doc Merlin. Now let's have from Gen 3, Ma'am Jayceline.
Thank you po.
In our school, sir, since our school is under modular learning modality, we maximize web-based communication via digital platforms and phone calls. Last resort po namin is home visitation, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, so that's in Gen 3. So sa kanila, una nilang kinonsider yung kanilang learning modality mismo naman kasi dito umiikot yung ating learning delivery ngayon. So last resort nila ay ang home visitation. Okay, now let's have from Cabuyao City. Sir, how did you address this po?
Sa amin po, when it comes to ODL, that is not actually a problem because students have the means for them to be able to send their videos while reading. Some MDL students who has the ability to send videos through Messenger to their teachers, those who cannot, ginagawa po, teachers are sending them the text, and then there is a comprehension in line with the text, and then parents were going to take those remedial or the text in the schools, and then after a week they will be submitting the text to the school. That is how
So ibig
we.
Opo. So ibig sabihin sir, may iwan kay parent yung
Yes, sir.
remaining task tapos ibabalik
Yes,
na
sir.
ni parent after masagutan ni learner. Tapos for
Yes, sir.
checking na lang si teacher. Tama po ba? Ayun.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's your way po sa Kabuyaw. Now let's have from Dasmariñas City, ma'am.
Alright. So we have only mainly written exams for MDL, except for APL. That is really easy for them because we really made them weekly through synchronous classes where they can read orally and they can answer through Google Forms. But for MDL students, we send them copies of reading materials where they would answer, and then after a week, they will have to pass it to us again so we could check.
Okay, kahawig lang din nung ginagawa nila sa Kabuyaw. Pag asynchronous talaga, no problem. Ang bilis natin na-check. Mabilis ang feedback natin pag synchronous. Pero pag naka-MDL tayo, yun yung kinakailangan nating maghintay ng medyo isa pang linggo para malaman natin kung paano natin paano natin mai-communicate yung feedback towards our learners and our parents. Thank you very much po.
And to add to that, Sir
Sige po.
Dom, to add to that, just this year, our principal, Sir Francis Kenneth Hernandez, asked us to be a part of our new program, which is also RBI, like what Ma'am said a while ago. We are now on the process of creating RBI for our students, so we could reach them easier and for a wider range for their learning, not only for the English language, but also for all of the subjects that we have. So as of now, we are hoping that RBI would really help us also in promoting our reading program.
Looking forward na makatulong po directly ang RBI sa inyo pong school and sa inyong division. Thank you very much po. And I hope the concern of Ma'am Riz Remulla has been addressed. Do we have another question? Last question po, Ma'am Abby, from our live viewers. This question is from Ma'am Kath Landicho Medina. How do you address the needs of the non or the struggling readers having parents or guardians considered as struggling readers or worst, non-readers as well? Yun. So kung may problem na raw tayo sa ating mga learners, paano pa po natin ina-address? Kasi kanina minsan naiiwan sa parent or most of the time, naiiwan sa parent yung responsibility then to check on our learners, to give feedback towards our learners right away, napupunta ito sa shoulders ng ating mga parents. So how do you address daw that po? Lalo na kung ang status ng parent natin ay struggling reader din or worse, non-reader pa nga. Ma'am from SDO Laguna, Doc?
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Kat Landicho Medina, to your question. So, we can help struggling readers without parent support through RBI. And then, or through teachers who can and who are willing. Of course, our teachers are very willing to visit, not to visit our struggling readers. So, the RBI po, yung validators po ng learning resources, ay, yun po yung mga validators from SDO Laguna. While the RBI lessons po, we have RBI trained team, plus our EPS, si Ma'am Irma po, Valenzuela, focus naman po sila dun sa content. So, really, the SDO Laguna, yung mga materials, the materials that we are giving to our learners are all fit and appropriate to the kind of reading levels that our learners have. Yun po. So, the RBI po, naroon talaga yung voice ng teacher as if the teacher is present. Yan po. Para
let's give a big hand. Thank you po. Let's give a big hand to SDO Laguna kasi naging bridge talaga yung RBI nila, yung radio broad in radio-based instruction nila para maramdaman ng learners and the parents that there is still the teacher and dyan pa rin yung teacher sa kanila. Okay, next po, we have from Gentry, ma'am.
Salamat po, sir. Actually, sir, sa amin naman po, reading teachers teach through phone calls po. And again, if that is the last resort, we conduct home visitations to them, depending on the agreement between the school and the family or the parents. We have capacitated learning facilitators within the community. For example, po yung mga volunteers, tsaka yung mga parents din na iba, and then alumni din po. Thank you, sir.
Ayun, thank you very much, ma'am. Medyo magkahawig tayo ng ginagawa sa school namin na kapag hindi talaga siya ma-reach online, kinakailangan talagang i-contact through their mobile phones, yung provided na contact numbers ng parents natin and the learners. Kaya naman may tanong akong isa pa bago tayo magpatuloy sa next presenter natin. Natanggap ba nila ang kanilang communication or internet allowance? Dapat natatanggap nila yon. Maisingit ko lang. Now let's have our next presenter po from Cabuyao City, Sir Ricky.
In the division of Kabuya, we have a radio program and TV program where lessons, and most especially with the different subjects, they are recorded and played with a specific schedule. And then other resort is that the same with Gentry, teachers will be calling the number of the parents, and then they will be talking with the parents along with the students. And the last resort is we have a group of uh, individuals from the city government of Cabuyao. We are not allowed actually to go to the to have a home visitation. So what we have here in the city of Cabuyao, the city government, they have a group of individuals who will go into the barangays to go to the houses of those students who having problems with the subjects or with the lesson or with the reading. And then they will be the one telling the parents, sending the parents, bringing the parents all the materials. And then they are also the one seeing how the process of reading. The same with talking with the parents via cell phones. It is really good that the video clips, video recorded lessons help a lot in our students.
Ayan, thank you sir from Cabuyao City. Aside from RBI, meron daw sila namang TV-based instruction and also parang ang daming manpower nila sa Cabuyao City kasi ang daming ready na mga people from their local government unit and even in the barangay level. So kudos to your station, sir. Now let's have from Dasmariñas City. Ma'am?
Thank you, Sir Dom. So, at the start of our school year, 2020-2021, the parents were oriented about how the classes will go for this school year. So, they were oriented to MDL or ODL or kung anumang modality ang in-enrollan ng kanilang anak. So, pag MDL, automatic na yon na makaka-receive sila ng mga learning packets. Pag ODL, we have synchronous and asynchronous classes. We are also teachers. We are also oriented to always be online or easy to reach for the parents. Kasi yun lang talaga yung number one means of communication namin sa kanila, yung text or chat namin sa kanila. So, ang pagkakaintindi ko sa question na to, what if yung parent wala masyadong kakayanang matulungan ng estudyante? Ganun ba, sir? Right?
Mismo po. Yung halos same yung level ng yung reading performance or reading ability ng parent at ng learner.
Yeah. So, the parents are also expected to be proactive in communicating with us teachers. When we say proactive, hindi lang laging dapat tatanungin ka pa ni teacher bago malaman yung concern mo. If you have a concern, you tell the advisor of your student, di ba? Yung anak mo. Maging proactive. So as the students, maging proactive din sila in telling us kung nahihirapan ba sa ganitong subject or in particular in the English subject. So from there, we could help them through text and phone calls. With ODL naman, same. Actually, lamang na lamang talaga ang ODL dito, Sir Dom, kasi nga, very easy ang communication namin with them. Like, I myself handling ODL and MDL at the same time. So, ganun yung nangyayari sa amin. And ang maganda sa school namin ngayon, napaka-strategic ng ginawa nila. Ang ginawa nila, ang sectioning namin ay magkakabarangay. So, since magkakabarangay, itong isang buong section na to, it's easier for the students or the parents to seek for help. Mare, may problema dito sa subject na to. Paano mo ginawa ito? Paano mo itinuro sa anak mo ito? So, yun yung isang nakita ko na magandang strategy na ginawa ng school namin na gawing magkakabarangay yung bawat section ng grade 7 or grade 7 to grade 10. So, yung communication and yung collaboration actually outside na nga ng school kasi may collaboration na within the community kasi magkakabarangay sila, magkakapitbahay pa nga yata itong mga to. So, they could easily ask teachers for help or yung mga kaklase or mga kumpares nila na kapitbahay nila sa mga subjects na kailangan. That's it, sir.
Ayun. Thank you very much po sa ating apat na magagaling na presenters from SDO Laguna, from SDO General Trias City, from SDO Cabuyao City, and from SDO Dasmariñas City. Thank you very much din po sa lahat ng nag-raise ng kanilang concerns, sa mga present po nating best practices and varied reading programs across Calabarzon. Maraming salamat po sa inyong presence. And this time, please don't forget to like our official social media page and hit the notifications bell so you will always be updated on the announcements and live stream events only here at DepEd Tayo Calabarzon and www.youtube.com/CELCon 2021. Once again, congratulations po sa inyo. You have done great.
Thank you, Sir Doms.
Thank you very much po, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
If you have final reminders for our co-teachers here in Calabarzon, you may do it so right now. Starting with from SDO Laguna, from Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School, Doc Merlin Sancha. Any parting words, ma'am?
Okay, so always be positive, even this pandemic. We can do it. Okay, so the struggling readers really are the priority. No, the SDO Laguna prioritizes struggling readers. So these radios that I mentioned are really for them. So at this moment, 5,600 radios were distributed already through our SDS, Ma'am Marites Ibanez. We also have English Explorer, English Adventure to reach most of our learners. So through cell phone, they can be given activities. So advise the teachers, coordinate with the reading team, put everything in action, serve with a heart. Thank you so much from SDO.
Ang galing-galing naman nun. Thank you very much po, ma'am. Now let's have from General Trias City. Any parting words, ma'am?
Thank you, sir.
Jacelyn Badana.
We would like to extend our heartful thanks to all of you, sir, for giving us the chance to participate in this conference. Let us just demonstrate genuine love for reading, and let us put into ourselves, reading is a culture where learners are nurtured. Thank you po, SDO Gentry.
Thank you. Now let's have from SDO Cabuyao City, from Cabuyao Integrated National High School, Mr. Ricky Maranya.
I would like to thank our EPS in English, Dr. Jonathan S. Marquez, for continuously supporting the reading program of every school in the division of Cabuyao. The reading coordinator in elementary and secondary. Let us just continue along with the reading coordinator of every school in the division of Cabuyao. Continue lang po natin na tulungan yung mga estudyante para matutong magbasa at maging mahusay na mamamayan ng Cabuyao. Salamat po.
Thank you very much, sir. Now let's have from Dasmariñas North National High School, Dasmariñas City, Ma'am Giselle Maristaza.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to start this with a little takeaway from Dr. Robbie this morning. Now, even if things have changed, we are in the new normal, don't give up. So there are ways, and we could still find ways how to reach and continue our program for our students. And I would also like to encourage my friends in the department and also in the division of Dasmariñas to also make the same or a new set of reading program for our division of Dasmariñas. So I hope I have inspired the division to also create a reading program for our students because I believe Dasmariñas is Das Masipag, Das Magaling, and we really want to be uh, an excellent part of our region in the reading program, di ba? So I hope everyone learned something from the things we have shared here in CELCon 2021. And thank you, Sir Dom, for entertaining us.
Thank you very much po. And also, congratulations and thank you to our supportive EPSs, Ma'am Irma Valenzuela, Sir Jonathan Marquez, Sir Noel Anciado, and Ma'am Glessy Columna. Maraming salamat din po sa inyo. And at this juncture, we will be proceeding to the awarding. Ayan, i-award na natin syempre kayo. Ma'am Abby, kindly please flash our certificate of recognition from the Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 4A Calabarzon. Certificate of recognition is awarded in grateful acknowledgement as school reading program presenter during the 2021 Calabarzon English Language Conference conducted by the Department of Education Region 4A Calabarzon through the Curriculum and Learning Management Division held on the 25th to 27th of March 2021 via Google Meet and YouTube Live. Given this 27th of March 2021 through Google Meet and YouTube Live, signed by our Regional Director, Francis Cesar Bringas. So this virtual certificate is awarded to Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School from the Division of Laguna Province. Okay,
Thank you
smile
so
ka po,
much.
ma'am. Take po kayo ng screenshot. Yan, panglagay sa IG stories. Ayan. Don't forget to use our official hashtag. That's hashtag CELCon 2021 and hashtag I am CELCon. Thank you very much po. Dr. Merlin B. Sancha from Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School. Now let's have the next. Same certificate is awarded to from the Division of General Trias City, Luis Y. Ferrer Jr. West National High School. To be received by the reading coordinator, Ms. Jaceline Badana. Ayan, smile ka po, ma'am, tapos screenshot niyo po. Yan. Pang FB stories. Let's give a virtual applause tonight. Now let's have the next. Same certificate is awarded for the Division of Cabuyao City, Cabuyao Integrated National High School. This is to be received by Mr. Ricky Maranya. Sir Ricky, kindly turn on your camera, please, so that you will be seen. Okay, Sir Ricky, is it just me, or I cannot see Sir Ricky's face? I can't recognize his face. It's just pure black. I think it's done. Now let's have our final presenter from same certificate is awarded to the Dasmariñas City, Dasmariñas North National High School to be received by Ms. Giselle Maristaza. Congratulations, ma'am. Smile ka po. Then screenshot mo na. Yeah. Panglagay mo rin sa IG mo. Yeah. Congratulations once again to our 4 presenters this afternoon. Thank you very much po for staying with us on the afternoon session of the 2021 CELCon, Re-engineering, Re-envisioning, and Redirecting Second Language Teaching and the New Normal. And also, ano mga kailangan nating abangan tomorrow? Tomorrow, we'll be having our next keynote speaker. Yan, our next keynote speaker will be coming from the Oxford University, and we will be watching live and listening live and interacting live with our keynote speaker live from the United Kingdom. So get ready for tomorrow. And this time, please don't forget to subscribe and like our Facebook page, Department of Education Tayo Calabarzon Facebook page, and www.youtube.com/CELCon CELCon 2021 so that you will be notified every time that CELCon or the CLMD Calabarzon will be having its live streaming updates.
Ang mga teacher walang ginagawa.
Napakahirap po ng setup po ng pag-aaral ng mga bata.
Hindi na ako nagtrabaho.
So, nag-boring po.
Nag-aalala po at malungkot.
Naging mahirap yung 2020 para sa atin. Ito yung nagbigay ng malaking hamon. So nasan ba tayo sa pagpapatupad ng mga kinakailangang reforma para maipagpatuloy ang edukasyon sa kabila ng challenges ng COVID-19 pandemic? Calabarzon, kaya nating sabihin na nakapaghanda. Kaget tayo na nakabuo ng isang Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan at ito ay ating naisumite ng May 27 of 2020.
The use of the pivot modules was planned before the pandemic. Actually, ang design ay sinimulan nung time na nagkaroon ng Taal eruption.
The pandemic actually gives rise to the idea of Pivot 4A. This has provided the framework on how we shall manage the delivery of educational services using all four components. Intent, the competencies, the learning experiences, and as well as assessment.
The three words that I can use in describing pivot is one, it's flexible, it's adaptive, and at the same time, aligned to the call of sulong edukalidad.
So if I'm going to describe Pivot 4A as a response to this pandemic, I would say that this has something to do with the reform, a response, and at the same time, a result. The use of pivot modules has completely turned around the direction to a more manageable one.
We want our teachers, we want our stakeholders not to feel the burden of the pandemic or not even feel the hardship in teaching and learning. The lesson exemplars or the LEAP and the LINK, these materials are really suited to the needs of the learners. We feel that the pivot materials are the appropriate materials needed by our learners, especially in terms of their context and needs. This time of pandemic, we need to produce and design materials that are suited to the demand of each of the learners in their respective learning spaces. Ipinag-isipan ng rehiyon na pag ibinaba ito ay madaling ma-implement at magaan sa ating mga magulang, sa ating mga teachers, at sa ating mga mag-aaral.
yung mga objectives o yung mga competencies na dapat naming ituro. So yung nakapasok doon, yun yung pinakamahalaga na dapat naming ituro sa bata.
Nakikita ko po sir, nung lumabas yung module na yon, sabi ko, mas magaan.
Inihanda po nila ang guro sa pagharap sa mga hamong ito. Binigyan po nila ng maraming kaalaman at impormasyon tungkol sa pivot at sa ibang mga bagay na makakatulong para maibahagi sa mga bata.
We want our teachers, we want our stakeholders not to feel the burden of the pandemic or not even feel the hardship in teaching and learning.
Sa paanong paraan mo masasabi na napadali ang iyong pag-aaral gamit yung mga materials ngayon? Yung mga modules na natatanggap mo na galing na sa school at binibigay sa'yo ni nanay.
Ano po, babasahin ko na lang po at itatanong ko na lang po kung ano yun.
Mayang magulang, ano po yung tulong na ibinibigay niyo sa inyong anak sa paggamit ng module?
Binabasa ko po muna, tapos saka ko po ina-explain sa kanya.
Ano po yung role na ginagawa ng teacher para nang sa ganun po ay matugunan yung inyong pong problemang kinakaharap?
Ayun, kapag meron po hindi maintindihan, pwede naman po magtanong kay teacher, palagi naman po siyang naka-off.
This is a product of hard work, sleepless nights, no Christmas break. So, hindi po madali ang pinagdaanan ito. Ito po ay pinag-isipan ng mabuti, pinuna, ibinasto, at pinagsikapan na magawa upang ang kalidad ng edukasyon ay ipagpatuloy sa panahon ng pandemya.
Kung bibigyan po natin sila ng module, malaki pong katipiran ang nagawa ng ating rehiyon sapagkat nagpatupad lamang po tayo ng pivot module na 1 quarter, 1 module. Dahil nakatipid po tayo sa gastusin, nakapagbigay po tayo ng 11,233 to be exact na units ng tablets na ibibigay po natin sa ating mga senior high school, initially, students.
Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na Pivot ang ginagamit sa ating Itulay online class.
Very happy po, at least na-access po namin kasi it's very helpful po talaga. Kasi ang hirap maghanap ng mga SLM ngayon, sir. Nakatulong naman po talaga on our part as a teacher and then para din po sa mga learners namin. Nakatulong po, honestly.
Sa lahat po ng stakeholders na gumabay at tumulong sa atin, mga PTA officers, sa ating mga sangay ng mga pamamanihala, sa mga division, sa SDOs, sa tulong at pamamatnubay ng ating mga schools division superintendents at maging ng kanilang mga kaagapay na mga tagapamanihala. kinikilala natin at pinasasalamatan yung kanilang naging tugon sa pagharap sa hamon na to. Kaya ba natin?
Sana po. Ready po.
Ang buong suporta.
Laban lang. Nakasupport po kami mga teachers.
Gusto ko din naman po. Natutuwa talaga na pusa ninyo itong ginawa. Sana ipagpatuloy ninyo ang inyong creativity. Sana ipagpatuloy ninyo ang pagiging responsive sa pangangailangan ng ating departamento.
Ito ay hindi lang laban mo o laban ko, kundi laban nating lahat ito.
Kaya natin ito. Laban natin.